Transformers Reactivate, the game that never was. So, I opened my phone up yesterday just to find out that Transformers Reactivate got canceled. And I already had these figures. I was waiting to review them I was waiting to review them when the game dropped, because I figured that'd probably be the best time to review the figures. Because, with the hype with the game coming out and being out. But come to find out, the game's actually canceled, which is just great. So I spent $130 on both the packs together just to have these figures for the game, just for it to be canceled. So I guess we'll just take a look at them real quick right now, because I'm going to sell these guys off, getting rid of them. Optimus Prime already has a buyer. Unfortunate times we live in. Kind of crazy, so we'll just take a look at each one really quickly. I'll transform it on camera. I won't do anything too crazy with them, and we'll just talk about the game and whatnot. So, starting off, we'll just look at Bumblebee. So, looking at Bumblebee, he's pretty decently detailed. I mean, he looks pretty cool. But, it's a great figure. It really is a great and fun-looking figure. It's just a shame that this game had to be canceled. Because these look like amazing designs, and it would have been a fun game. But, anyway, I'll just kind of talk about a couple things. He has cool little guns. Not too bad-looking guns. They're kind of cool. An interesting little backpack and whatnot. I don't know if the price will go up on these figures since the game doesn't exist anymore, so these are just kind of there in the wild. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of transform them and, talk a little bit. But, it's really a shame that this game got canceled, because these were really great figures, and I feel like Hasbro really jumped the gun when it came to these figures, because, these figures came out before the game even came out. I believe these came out during the same time around when the trailer kind of dropped and everything. And I bought them because I was really hyped for the game to release and come out, because there hasn't been a really good Transformers game, at least in my opinion, since the Cybertron games. I know there was Devastation, and I think a lot of people like the Devastation game, but me personally, I was waiting so bad for Reactivate, because it felt like it was going to be another kind of War for Cybertron style game, and I was really excited for that. I was genuinely excited for another War for Cybertron style type of game, where you had online and everything, and it would just be a really fun kind of game. And I could play with some of my friends, get them into Transformers and this and that, because some of my friends really aren't like too big into franchises and stuff. They just kind of play video games most of the time. They're not really too big into stuff like that. But I figured when Reactivate comes out, maybe I could, play with some friends and this and that, and kind of make it feel like it was back to old times. But unfortunately, now that's just not going to happen, because they decided to cancel the game, which is just fantastic, And it's really unfortunate, because I really felt like it was going to be a really good game. And the thing that's really just annoying, too, is the fact that there's probably more people than just me who bought these figures, getting excited for the game, and then just for the game to just not come out at all. So, in reality, it kind of just feels like, Hasbro got your money. They got your money. They probably won't be offering any sort of refund or whatnot, if you're, obviously unsatisfied with the purchase. And it just kind of sucks, because now that this game is not coming out and everything, it's just, I feel like these were a waste of plastic, and there that piece falls. But I feel like these were a waste of plastic. Now, they're cool figures, but since there is no game at all, it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of these figures? why do these figures even exist? They're fun, but what's the point? It's a game that's not real anymore. There's just really no point into having these even in my collection, just because, you know, I was excited for the game. I'm not even going to do the weapon storage, to be honest. But I was just super excited for this game. I could not wait till it released. I was counting down the days, because I remember when it was shown at, I believe, was it the Game Awards or was it E3? That the game was actually, you know, coming out, and I didn't even know there was a new Transformers game coming out, to be honest, until they dropped that trailer, and that trailer was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting, gave me, you know, Fall of Cybertron kind of vibes, and maybe some slight bit of Rise of the Dark Spark kind of feel to it, even though that game wasn't too crazy, not too crazy good or anything, at least in my opinion. But I was getting pretty excited because there was going to be a new Transformers game. I was going to have lots of fun, and it was just going to be a good old time. And then I kept waiting, and I didn't even realize it was like 2+ years since I believe it was the trailer that was like released, and there would have been, they said they would give updates in 2024. I haven't heard anything at all. And then just radio silence, and then eventually there was something, and that something was yesterday, and the game got canceled, and it is just absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they released these figures, even having this Bumblebee in Studio Series right now as part of the Gamer Edition subline, is just laughable. Like, I don't even know what they're going to do with the other figures. I don't know if they're going to try and push those into the Gamer Edition subline or not. But that would be just kind of strange if they did, and kind of, you know, scummy, because it's like, no one's really going to buy those because the game doesn't exist anymore. It's not coming out ever at all. But anyway, enough talking about that just real quick, because we will take a look at Bumblebee's vehicle mode here. Bumblebee's the only one you could get right now in stores if you find him, which is strange. So if you did want to pick them up, you can pick them up, or I'm going to be selling mine off. I will be selling it on Facebook Marketplace, I believe. I will do shipping and stuff like that, or if you want to join my, follow my Insta, and just send me a direct message. If any of you guys want any of these figures, I will, you know, we can work something out, and I'll ship it to you and everything. But take a look right here. I mean, Bumblebee has a cool design. I love this exposed engine in the back. It's got a very Mad Maxy feel to it. I don't know what these are. But he has these, like, off-road tires. He has this very cool design. Very nice looking front part there. Little Autobot logo and everything. It looks like a really cool little kind of like Volkswagen Mad Max style Beetle, and it was pretty cool. Like this like spoiler section and everything. I mean, it's a cool and fun looking figure. I like it, but I'm just not gonna keep a figure that's, you know, just from a game that's not coming out. Anyway, next up after Bumblebee we have Soundwave. Now, Soundwave was just a really cool looking design to me. Really remind me of the Fall of Cybertron look. And he just looks really cool. I did thoroughly enjoy this Soundwave. It looks really cool. This one was pretty fun. I just felt like maybe this was like Laserbeak or something on top here. And came with like a very G1-esque style look to him. And I don't know, he just looks really cool. Love the colors and everything. He was just a nice little figure. He's getting sold too as well. But yeah, anyway, about the game and everything. Because especially with these figures, I was really hoping that we would get like Megatron and Shockwave at least. Because if there was a Megatron and Shockwave released, I probably would have kept those. And maybe Soundwave and Starscream, just because I like Decepticons. But yeah, unfortunately we didn't get anything. Nothing at all. Just these figures. I guess they were waiting to make more because they knew the game was going to end up, getting canceled and whatnot. Which kind of blows. It's just a shame because, again, on the other hand, you had Hasbro basically coming out with these different news articles and everything. Well, not Hasbro directly, but different sources were coming out with the news articles saying that Hasbro was done basically funding the movies, which kind of why the movies are what basically boost the toy sales and this and that. I don't know why the hell they would want to do that. But so you basically had that, right? And then what they decide to do is they decide to focus more time and money on things like video games and stuff like that. Yet here they are canceling a game. Yeah, good job, Hasbro. You're really leaving your mark, which is ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing over there at Hasbro, but they need to get their shit together, because this is just absolutely just ridiculous. This is the most saddening news I think I've heard in a while, and it really, honestly, I know it's first world problems or whatever the saying is or something like that, but it really is, especially for the people who bought these figures, when they first dropped the 2-packs, sympathies for you guys, because I fell under that same kind of trap too of buying these figures and thinking that everything was just going to be all right and all peachy, and then we're going to have a good, fun new game to play, and these figures would have been the start of a really nice new video game shelf of these characters and everything. For me personally, I was really excited also to paint them all up and get them looking really accurate to what they would look like in the game, because I was waiting for the game to drop so I could use the game models to make customs and make them more accurate to the game, just like I said. I don't know why I said that twice, but I was really excited for that. And there just isn't a whole lot of good games out anymore, which really sucks. You got your basic Call of Duties and whatnot, but it's there's every Call of Duty that comes out every year is pretty much the same game, just sometimes slightly worse than the game that came before it. At least that's why I kind of quit Call of Duty. But I was just excited for there to be another Transformers game, because I grew up on the Fall of Cybertron games, which I do have Fall of Cybertron figures. I still got stuff like that, and I love those figures a lot. But I was just really excited for there to actually be a genuine new game, and there was just so much cool stuff with it. There was a lot of cool screenshots of the game and everything that were really sick. But anyway, here is Soundwave in his kind of vehicle mode. Pretty cool looking. It's like a Hummer kind of thing going on. You have his chest on the top here as the hood of the car, which is kind of cool. It's pretty sick. These figures were pretty simple to transform, but they had some pretty cool transformation schemes with them, and I do actually quite like this one. It's not a bad looking little figure. And next up is Starscream, arguably probably one of the cooler ones out of the set. And here we have Starscream. Again, another really cool design. I love the asymmetry with some of the parts on him. It just makes it look like he's been rebuilt and everything, which is pretty cool. Very cool looking wings there on the back and everything. It's just a super sick looking design, and it's just really such a shame that we never got to see these designs to fruition. And this one in particular is a pretty fun figure. And his eyes are blue, which was kind of interesting. So he might be like an Autobot or something. And well, he would have been if the game wasn't canceled. Yeah, it just really does suck quite a bit. I know I'm probably yapping a lot and probably repeating a lot of words and everything. But it truly is just like ridiculous. Like you stop funding movies to focus on games, and then you cancel your only game. I feel like the only thing they can really do right now is just re-release the old games and, you know, bring the servers back online and this and that. And, you know, hope for the best, because honestly, what are they going to do now? They have no new game coming out. They decided to stop focusing on movies, which is a big mistake, by the way. You know, that's really stupid on their part to stop focusing on the movies. Like, the movies are pretty much what boosted Transformers back into the mainstream. So I don't know what their deal is with that. So yeah, they should really figure out what their game plan is gonna be here, because as far as I can tell, it's not really looking good. But yeah, and again, it's just such a damn shame. It's such good designs just gone to absolute developmental hell. I wonder how they're even gonna come back from this. Are they gonna try and find a new studio to try and pick up the game, or is it just completely dead in the water? Who even knows? This game might never come out, period, and it might just be completely dead. Because as far as I can tell, I don't know if there's been any game ever to exist that is just, you know, come back from whatever is going on over with Hasbro. I'm just, like, also just mad that I, like, spent money on these figures, because I was just that excited for this game that I just had to get, you know, all these figures and everything for it. I won't be making that mistake again. I can promise you that. Definitely will not be making that mistake no longer. One thing that was really cool, though, is the way the feet here, like, turn into the actual, like, thrusters. And then they just kind of, like, come together like that. Like, I like these figures. I think these figures are great. These are great, like, video game figures. It reminds me of the Fall of Cybertron video game figures, and how great those were, and honestly, how great those still are. But, you know, it's just like all of this, at what cost? At what cost? Because now it's just a dead game. It just really is a shame. I can get this together properly. Hope I'm doing this right. But it really is a damn shame. Honestly, I mean, there still might be some sort of hope. Probably not, though, to be honest. Probably is absolutely no hope at all. And, you know, some transparency would have been nice. Some, you know, some actual updates on the game and whatnot would have been actually nice. Maybe, I don't know, because, you know, I understand with some games, they're in developmental hell for, like, a long time, and then it just ends up taking so much money to make the game that, you know, they end up running out of money, and then that's when they have to cancel the project and try and scavenge what they can afterwards, as far as profit-wise. Like, I understand that, but it's like, how can you just, and I understand also too, video game companies can go bankrupt and whatnot, but how do you just do that so fast? How do you pour so much money into a game and just, like, not think about, hey, maybe this is going to make us go bankrupt? Because maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was just so much money that was given out to this project. Because honestly, the game did look really good. But it just seemed like there was just so much poured into it that, you know, studio ended up getting close to bankruptcy or whatnot. But anyway, Starscream here. again, like, pretty cool and very Mad Maxy feeling. Very nice jet mode. It's very cool looking jet mode. And I think it was a very, very fun transformation. It's a cool figure, and I just would have really enjoyed maybe playing as Starscream in the game too. That would have been pretty interesting, but that's pretty much Starscream there. Now, looking at the man himself, the leader, Optimus Prime. So, Optimus Prime here, and I'm sorry this isn't like a normal review video. This is more just like a rant video, and just kind of a more disappointing video. But I did want to get this out because I'm going to be selling these guys, and I might as well just talk about it and my thoughts on the whole situation. But yeah, so the official statement they released, which is right here, you know, I'll keep it up on the screen so you guys can read it for a little bit. So I'll try to keep it a little bit kind of small there. But basically they're just like kind of saying that, like, they due to like unfortunate things, this and that, and a lot of company talk, basically just saying the game is canceled, which, you know, was the unfortunate reality that we live in. But Optimus Prime here, yeah, a really cool looking design too. I really like this Optimus Prime design. It looks perfect, and what's cool is, you know, you could open his chest and he has the Matrix of leadership in there and everything. This one probably had the most fun transformation out of all of them. And he had this like really cool looking axe here, and you know, his you know, classic ion blaster and everything. He had a very, very nice look to him, especially from the back too, with the thrusters and everything. It was just a really cool looking Optimus Prime figure, and I really liked it. Like, it's such a nice looking Optimus Prime figure. But, you know, he just has no room in my, you know, collection anymore, and I could use the money. I could use the money that I spent on this for other things that are just, in my opinion, real. If that makes any sense. But I'm gonna go ahead and transform him, and then I'll keep on talking. But, you know, the game had so much potential. It was basically just going to be like Fall of Cybertron, and the War for Cybertron game, maybe with some like different stuff. They were gonna bring back shit like Stealth Force and everything, which was gonna be pretty cool to use. There was just a lot of really good ideas. I'm sure there was a lot of talented people on the team making the game and everything. It's just they, you know, kind of got screwed over by, you know, by whoever. Maybe it was the company or whatnot. I'm sure within the company there was probably also huge major layoffs, this and that. And it, you know, wasn't exactly the, you know, I'm sure they all didn't want the outcome that ended up happening. I don't think anybody prays for, or, you know, wants a certain specific outcome happening that, you know, they can't, you know, control or handle. You know, there's a lot of things that even I personally wouldn't have wanted to happen that, you know, ended up happening. But one thing that's really cool about this Optimus Prime that I really do like is that, let me just get it back to where it was. So you have it like this, right? The chest opens up like there, and then you open this up, then lift this back, then the whole like front section just kind of folds out like that. I really love the engineering with this Optimus Prime. It's a really good figure. It's just such a shame. Like, it really is. Just put that back. But it just, like, genuinely is just, like, such a shame. I really honestly wish that this had not happened, and that I could just keep these figures and just wait for more cool characters to just drop. So that way I can have more characters from that game and everything. Because I feel like it just would have been really, really cool. Also, another thing that didn't really make sense is the gas canisters right here are in the back. So it was just very strange. But yeah, it's just a shame. You know, we live in a world where all the good stuff just kind of goes to shit nowadays. You know, yeah, movies that aren't good anymore, or like at least franchises. You got, you know, companies trying to push all these agendas and this and that, and you know, the one time we would have had like a generally like interesting good game besides Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is an amazing game, and I hope they make figures for that, because I would love a Venom and a Spider-Man from Marvel Rivals. I feel like those would be so sick. But you know, it's just really a shame that, you know, a lot of this stuff has to happen in this current, you know, landscape of, you know, media and you know, consumerism, this and that. Because, you know, there is a genuine lot of just garbage out there nowadays. And, you know, every now and then it's nice to get something good. And I feel like this game was going to be one of those things that was just going to be something good. But just like, you know, Icarus and this and that, you know, I believe it was Icarus. I don't know. I'm not exactly one to read the Bible. But just like Icarus, I believe, you know, the game just was flying too close to the sun and just ended up burning itself into oblivion. And we will probably just never get anything closely, remotely close to it ever again, unless, you know, unless a little beacon of hope happens and by some miracle they decide to go back and work on the game, or Hasbro decides to do whatever they can to go back and work on the game, and then maybe we do eventually get the game, and then maybe I'll buy the figures back if that happens. But I sincerely doubt that's ever going to happen. I don't really see it happening. Sorry, my camera's out of focus there. But yeah, I don't really see that happening at all, which is kind of sad. But, you know, that's the current landscape we live in. When something's, you know, canceled, it's usually done for. It just never comes back. And it really is unfortunate. No amount of Kickstarters or anything like that could probably bring this back from its unfortunate and untimely demise. I feel like the only way, I mean, I'm sure if the fans band together, maybe something could happen, but again, this is a video game we're talking about. It's not just like a fan film or anything. This is something that costs like billions upon billions of dollars. Actually, maybe not billions, maybe more in the millions, but I mean, video games take a lot of money to make. They're not anything, you know, simple. They're not anything that you can just make at home. Maybe you could, but they're not easy things to make. But take a look at Optimus Prime here. This truck mode is amazing. I absolutely love it. The feet here almost kind of simulate some type of like engine and stuff. Got like thrusters on the back here. A very nice clean back. I mean, this is a clean truck mode. A very clean undercarriage too as well. A little bit of hollowness here, but that's no big deal. You got very nice, you know, detail and panel work and everything going on the side here. He has this really gnarly looking and really cool looking kind of front section to him that is honestly painted up pretty cool. And I love kind of this strange, like almost tealish like glass for the windshield there. And he just has like a really nice looking design, and it kind of reminds me of the what I believe was it was this one Optimus Prime figure I used to have a long time ago. I don't know if it was from the Robots in Disguise line from way back in the day, or if it was from some like Generations line way back in the day. I'm sure some of you, like, you know, longtime Transformers toy like figure fans and Transformers fans know which one I'm talking about. But he had like a similar design to this. He had this like top piece that you would peg on top, and that would become his gun. And that's what would be like this like top piece here. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this was a nice looking figure. But since we have all of them all transformed up already, Bumblebee has a hair on it. What the hell? Then we have Soundwave and Starscream and whatnot. So here's all the figures. Now, will be pretty much the end of the video, but are these a waste of plastic? Some could say yes. I'm pretty much gonna say yes, because, I mean, these had no reason to be made now. They're kind of have no use, which is very strange. I've never said a figure has had no use to exist before, but these generally don't have any need to exist, which is sad. Are they cool figures? Yeah. Are they fun figures? Yeah. Do they have cool designs? Yeah. These are great figures. It's just they don't really have a reason to exist anymore. They're kind of just there. It's a shame the game ended. It really is. It truly is. I will be selling these guys. Optimus Prime is already getting sold, as far as I know right now. So I have Bumblebee, Soundwave, and Starscream all ready and to be sold. DM me on Insta if you are, if you're interested in them. I will probably have Bumblebee and Soundwave both as like about 20 each, because both the packs were like 60 something bucks, and I want to try to make some of my money back at least with them. They've only been used for display, only transformed twice, this video and when I first got them. So there's no paint and shipping or nothing. I just opened them up and displayed them on the shelf in the robot modes. And that was pretty much it for these guys. But yeah, so Bumblebee, Soundwave, probably about 20 each. And then Starscream, probably 25 or 30, since he's a Voyager. If I end up not selling Optimus Prime, he'll be 20. He'll be like 25 or 30. Same thing, Voyager. They all have their weapons and everything, whatnot. This isn't a usual video for me, but it really truly is a shame. These figures were pretty fun and great to have, but they have no use in my collection no more. It's a shame the game got ended, but that's where we're at currently, unfortunately. Transformers fans just never seem to win sometimes. But anyway, that is it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Also, make sure to follow my Insta and my TikTok for more action figure posts and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. Saying farewell to a game that never was.